Hey mathletes, Dave Stoblin here, and we're still doing good math, still talking about measures of dispersion. Now, you recall from the first two videos that we talked about measures of central tendency for a data set, where's the center, mean, median, and mode, and then we talked about measures of dispersion, how far apart is the data spread out, and we talked about range. Well, there is another way that we can analyze the spread of the data, and it is called the 5-number summary, and that's the number version, and graphically it's called a box and whisker. And so the 5-number summary works like this. There are 5 numbers that describe the data. The first one is the minimum. The second value is called the first quartile. Then the next value is the median. And then there is the third quartile. And then there is the maximum. So let's talk through these and explain what they are, and then I'll show you graphically on a box and whisker. You know what the median is. That is the middle value of the data. Now, the minimum is the smallest data value, and the maximum is the largest data value. So the way this works is we have the smallest, we have the largest, we have the data value in the middle. And so the question is, what's the first quartile? Well, the way you can think about this, quartile sounds like quarter. So let's think about this way. If the minimum were 0 and the maximum were 100, the middle would be 50, or half, and quarter would be 25. So let's see. 0 minimum, 25 first quarter, 50 is the middle, or the second quarter. The third quarter would be 75. And so when we think about these quarters, the way we want to define it is that the first quartile is the median of the lower half of the data, and the third quartile is the median of the upper half of the data. So small, first quarter, second quarter or half, median, third quarter, and maximum. That is the 5-number summary. Now we can turn those 5 numbers into a diagram called a box and whisker, and it looks like this. There is a box with a line, and then there are whiskers out to each side. And we're going to label the 5-number summary on the box and whisker. So we started by defining the median, and so the vertical line in the box represents the median. The vertical line at the end of the left-hand whisker is the minimum, and the vertical line at the end of the right-hand whisker is the maximum. Okay. The first quartile is represented by Q 1, or Q sub 1, because it's a subscript, okay? And that's represented by the lower end of the box. And the third quartile, or Q sub 3, is represented by the vertical line at the other end of the box. Now, what's interesting is we can know some things about the data. If you have the min and the max, and the median is the data value in the middle, then we know that half the data, half or 50% of the data is in this range. And we know that since the median is the middle data value, half or 50% of the data are here. Pretty crazy. Now, let's go to the other side. If we know that the first quartile is the median of the lower half of the data, and minimum to median is half, this is a quarter, well, this would be 25% of the data is here, and 25% would be there, and 25% of the data would be there, and 25% of the data would be there. So we can tell lots of information by looking at a box and whisker where all the data is. Now, what I'd like to do next, I'm going to slide this up. I think I have room to show you how to create a box and whisker by hand. So here's some data. I will put it in order, starting with 100. Oh no, it's not in order. All right, I'll put it in order. 100, 98, 95, 88, 87, 82, 72, and 69. Okay? So we're going to do some calculations, and over here I'm going to do the 5-number summary, which is the min, Q1, the median, Q2, and the max. Let's see if we can figure these out. Let's see, the minimum is the smallest value, so that's 69, and the maximum is the biggest value, that's 100. That's pretty easy to do. Let's find the median. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values. There's an even number of values, so we want to find the middle 2 values, which are those two, and we want to get the median. So that's going to be 88 plus 87 divided by 2, which is 87.5. Okay. Now, Q1 is defined as the median of the lower half of the data. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 values, so I'm going to divide it in half. The median of the lower half is Q1. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's even. Find the median. It's the middle 2. So 82 plus 72 divided by 2 comes out 77. Q3 is the median of the upper half, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 data values in the upper half. So we find the middle 2, add them together, and divide by 2. And that comes out 96.5 for Q3. Okay, there's the 5-number summary. Now, let's create the box and the whisker. Okay, now ideally we want to do this to scale. If you had some graph paper, that would be ideal. I'll just draw a sketch. All right, the minimum is 69. Q1 is 77. The median is 87.5. Q3 is 70. Oh, you know what? I messed this up. Q1 is, I messed this up really bad. All right, Q3 is 96.5. I must have had dyslexia. And lastly, the max is 100. And so that is how you draw a box and whisker and get the 5-number summary.